If all motor vehicles were the same size and had similar stability characteristics, the driving task would be a lot easier. However, each user must learn to share the available space with the other, and that requires an understanding of each other's special characteristics and behavior patterns. In this lesson, we'll take a close look at motorcycles. You'll learn to understand the identification problem, understand some performance and behavior characteristics, recognize what they are doing, and make more accurate predictions and decisions to avoid conflict. Start your car, and we'll go out on the road to learn about mixing with motorcycles. Go now. Not too many years ago, there weren't many motorcycles on the road. But in today's traffic, encountering cycles has become a common experience. Let's take a look at some of the things that make motorcycles a little different than other highway users. Because of their smaller size and good maneuverability, to avoid sudden conflicts, cyclists may be more apt to swerve like that than other motorists. Also, because of their smaller size, motorcycles usually look farther away than they actually are, and their speed is more difficult to estimate. The most obvious difference between cycles and other vehicles is in their relative size. Even compared to small cars, the motorcycle is at a strict disadvantage in being identified. You must be alert to spot them before they disappear and to keep track of their whereabouts. At the next intersection, turn left. Some motorcycles may accelerate more quickly than other vehicles. However, the most important performance difference for you to realize is that at lower speeds, they can also stop faster than cars. To preserve your own space cushion and protect both you and the cyclist, allow a little extra space ahead when following one. Prepare to change lanes. Have you identified the cyclist behind? His headlight is on and easy to see, but he also has a turn signal flashing. Can you tell which one it is? You should keep in mind that some cycles don't have signals at all. And on those that do, the signals will not cancel automatically the way they do on other vehicles. Be careful about making predictions solely on the basis of a cyclist's electric turn signals. At the next intersection, turn right. Have you ever wondered why cyclists generally travel in the left portion of their lane and sometimes seem to change position frequently? They do it for some very good reasons. That rider has selected his position to give him the best view of the road ahead and to make him most visible to other traffic. In that position, he avoids oil-slick surfaces that frequently build up in the center of the lane, and preserves his space cushion by making sure that passing vehicles don't try to share his lane and force him close to the road shoulder. This position also helps him to identify and avoid road debris. You should predict that a cyclist will make position changes to avoid obstacles which may seem minor to a motorist, like railroad crossings, especially when the tracks are at a sharp angle to the roadway. The ruts along tracks might catch his tires and spill him, so he'll slow slightly and change position again, this time to cross the tracks at a wider angle to be sure and stay out of the ruts. Don't let this kind of maneuver catch you off guard. How about situations where you encounter two or more cycles? When they travel together, most experienced riders assume an offset position to avoid colliding with each other and to protect their space cushion. When they pass, notice how they switch positions. The lead cyclist initiates the pass, then moves to the right side of his lane to make it easier for the next passer to move in. Although all cyclists do not perform in this manner, when you do see a passing cyclist move into the right side of the lane, you should predict the likelihood of two or more traveling together. Were you keeping track of that third cyclist? Sometimes their anxiety to stay with a group will tempt them to take chances they wouldn't ordinarily take. At the next intersection, turn right. At the next intersection, turn right again. You've seen that on hard, dry, smooth surfaces, motorcycles have much more maneuverability than larger vehicles, and in the hands of experienced riders, they are very stable. However, you can predict much less stability when you identify a loose or slippery road surface or an inexperienced rider. Like that one pulling out now. His running start, feet stuck out, and awkward riding position are good indicators that he's a beginner. Riding too close to parked cars is another good clue to inexperience. When you identify an inexperienced rider, or any rider on treacherous road surfaces, predict reduced stability and give yourself plenty of space cushion. It may save you both. Pull into the parking area ahead on the right. Park by the telephone pole and secure your car. Now let's see how well you can apply what you've learned. Start your car and get ready to move on. Go now. When you get to the street, turn left. You've had a chance to see and react to some of the problems of identifying motorcycles and some of their performance and behavior characteristics. Be ready now to make predictions and decisions that will help you both to avoid conflict. Saw that first cyclist who passed move to the right side of his lane, you should have predicted there'd be another and eased right. If that rider had been seriously injured or unable to regain his feet, you would have a moral obligation to stop and help him out. A four-wheel vehicle would not have had that problem. Did you predict the cyclist would? At the next intersection, turn left. At the end of the street, turn left. That driver that pulled out from the right may have been unaware that motorcycle signals do not cancel automatically. Did you remember? Turn was another good example of how motorcycle behavior may sometimes differ from that of larger vehicles. Did you identify all three of the cycles overtaking you earlier and keep track of the one that moved into your blind spot? At the next intersection, turn right. At the next major intersection, turn right again. That cyclist before he disappeared, you avoided that conflict. Change lanes, check your blind spot. At the traffic light, turn left. Were you able to identify that motorcycle before turning? At the next major intersection, turn left. Where that car is crossing, turn left again. That's a good example of what happens when drivers forget that motorcycles are sometimes hard to see and that their speed is difficult to estimate. Are you getting the idea that turning at intersections is one of the most likely situations for collision with motorcycles? Where that car is pulling out, turn right. Park in the wider area just ahead and secure your car. You have learned to understand some of the identification problems involving motorcycles. You've learned to understand some of their performance and behavior characteristics. And you've learned to recognize what cyclists are doing. You should now be able to make predictions and decisions that make sharing the highway with motorcyclists an easier task for you both.